Welcome back to the channel. We are diving deep into the July 20th episode of Days, and the summer sweeps drama is just relentless right now. The spoiler notes are absolutely packed today, so let's just jump right into the mess. So let's start off with Gabi Hernandez. Honestly, when is Gabi not a complete and total mess of her own making? You guys know the drill by now. She has completely blown up her life again. First, she loses Philip Kyriakis because she just couldn't stop scheming and bugging his office for Tony DiMera. Philip literally told her to pack her bags and get out of the Kyriakis mansion. It was brutal. And now her relationship with her daughter Ari is hanging by a literal thread. Gabi paid off Liam to leave town because she thought he wasn't good enough for Ari. And, of course, Ari found out because in Salem, secrets always come out. Always. But Gabi meant well, right? Okay, maybe that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. She always thinks she's doing the right thing for her family while actively destroying her family in the process because she just can't stop herself from meddling where she doesn't belong. So on Monday, Gabi is going to lean heavily on her brother Rafe for support. Rafe is basically the only person left in town who has to put up with her because they share DNA. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Gabi, but it is just exhausting watching her repeat the exact same cycles over and over. Rafe will probably try to advocate for her with Ari, but who actually believes this is going to end well? Ari is furious. She moved out. She has every single right to be disgusted with her mother. Gabi needs a serious reality check before she loses her daughter for good, but knowing Gabi, she'll probably just double down on her bad decision. But the real kicker for Monday's episode is over at the hospital. And this storyline is making me pull my hair out, let's be real. So Tate Black goes digging in Holly Jonas's bag and finds a stash of pills. Now, fans already know from last week that EJ DiMera planted those pills. EJ is trying to create a massive smokescreen to cover up DiMera Pharmaceuticals' liability in the whole arsenic-laced chorizial nightmare that killed Sarah's patient. But here is the thing that makes absolutely no sense. Holly didn't even pack that bag. Bonnie Lockhart, Kyriakis packed it. What were the writers thinking here? Why on earth would Tate immediately assume these random pills belonged to Holly when she didn't even put the bag together? Wouldn't it make way more sense to question Bonnie? Or literally anyone else in the vicinity? It's just one of those clunky plot holes that you have to force yourself to ignore, but it is so frustrating. Tate just jumps straight to the worst possible conclusion, because that's what teenage boys on soap operas do, I guess. It is lazy writing, but it definitely gets the drama going. And then it gets worse. So much worse. Tate and Sarah Horton confront Holly about the drugs. Holly is absolutely horrified. She is standing there, probably crying, fiercely denying that she takes anything other than her prescribed antidepressants. And you really have to feel bad for her. She just got over the whole trauma of Sophia supposedly dying, and now her boyfriend is accusing her of being a junkie. Tate's complete lack of trust is going to be the final nail in the coffin for their relationship. The spoilers are strongly hinting that Tate and Holly are going to break up over this, and honestly, good for her. If he can't trust her after everything they've been through, then what is the point? Short punches, no trust, no relationship, just like that. But it also just fits the show's usual style of tearing young couples apart right when they start getting stable. It's dramatic. It's messy. And it's going to leave Holly completely isolated right when EJ's sinister plot is closing in around her. Speaking of EJ, we really need to zoom out and talk about how evil he is being right now. He is literally framing a teenage girl for drug abuse just to protect his company's bottom line. He feels a tiny bit of guilt, sure, but not enough to actually stop doing it. He is fully embracing his inner Stefano DiMera, wearing the ring, acting like a monster, and destroying anyone who gets in his way. It is classic DiMera cruelty, but it feels so much darker this time. because Holly is just innocent collateral damage. EJ is spinning out of control, and this arsenic cover-up is going to blow up in his face eventually. But for now, he is perfectly fine letting Holly take the fall. It makes you wonder how Johnny's going to react when he inevitably finds out that his father framed his stepsister. It is going to be an absolute bloodbath in the DiMera mansion. And I cannot wait to watch EJ get what is coming to him. So while all that heavy stuff is happening, we also have Leo Stark making a really difficult admission to Marlena Evans. Let's talk about Leo for a second. The man is a walking disaster zone, but he has been trying to get better. Sort of. He is completely heartbroken over Javi Hernandez moving on with Gus, the hunky Texas firefighter. Leo has this toxic pattern where he thinks if he schemes hard enough, people will just magically fall in love with him. But life doesn't work like that, and Javi has made it crystal clear that he is moving on. Leo has been stalking them, plotting to sabotage Gus's job application, and just generally being his usual toxic self. But on Monday, he actually sits down with Marlena and confesses some hard truths. Maybe he admits that he is the problem. Maybe he admits that he can't stop himself from ruining Javi's happiness. Marlena has the patience of a saint, honestly. I don't know how she sits there and listens to Leo's endless drama without rolling her eyes. But it is good to see Leo actually trying to work through his messy feelings instead of just immediately acting on his worst impulses. Well, he might still act on them, but at least he's talking about it first. Baby steps, right? And then we have EJ issuing an apology, which is something you almost never see on the show. But he's not apologizing to Sarah or Holly for ruining their lives. No, he is apologizing to Cat Greene. With EJ apparently out of a job, or at least ousted from his CEO power seat now that Johnny and Theo are stepping up, that means Cat is technically out of a job too. But Cat doesn't care about the corporate paycheck. She is an undercover ISA agent running a massive honey trap on EJ. So EJ apologizing to her is just playing right into her hands. She is going to use this vulnerability to get even closer to him. Cat is probably going to spin this whole we are both unemployed and lost angle to pry some serious intel out of him regarding the Versavix lab and Lexi's failing resurrection cure. It is a dangerous game she is playing, though. If EJ figures out that she is a spy, he will absolutely destroy her. But for now, the chemistry is there, the manipulation is working, and Cat is securing her spot right by his side. Finally, we have to talk about Belle Black and Chad DiMera because this storyline is getting so incredibly good. You guys, all the clues are pointing to Italy! Belle and Chad have been obsessing over that mysterious chess set that Stefano left behind for John Black. They realized the pawn piece was missing, they found the old 1,000 lira note, and now they are putting the pieces together. On Monday, they make a massive connection that points them straight across the globe. This sounds like we are gearing up for an epic international adventure, and I am so here for it. It gives me major old school Days vibes, like the classic Maison Blanche storylines from back in the day. Chad and Belle are growing so close during this investigation, and you just know it is going to lead to romance. They have been dancing around each other for weeks, going on friendly baseball dates with the kids, but this Italy trip is going to push them over the edge. But going to Italy is incredibly dangerous. Stefano's ghost is basically pulling their strings from beyond the grave. Marlena even tried to warn them to drop it, but do they listen? Of course not. They are Salemites, they run toward the danger. Marlena has been having these terrifying premonitions that this investigation is going to end in disaster, and she is usually right about these things. What if they find a brainwashed sleeper agent? What if Ponderita is over there? What if EJ follows them out of jealousy? There are so many wild possibilities. The writers are really leaning into the legacy of Stefano DiMera this summer, and sending Chad and Belle to Italy is the perfect way to honor that history while creating a fresh, exciting mystery. I honestly can't wait to see what they uncover, even if it means they are walking straight into a trap. It is going to be messy, it is going to be dramatic, and it is exactly why we love this show. So that is what we are looking at for Monday. A whole lot of broken hearts, a whole lot of scheming, and potential trip to Europe. I am going to need a nap after watching this episode, I swear. Let me know what you guys think about Tate and Holly breaking up, because I am still so mad about the bag logic. See you next time.